Good evening, I'm Pinky Webb. Tonight we ask the questions, we tackle the issues, we clarify matters, and we get on point. Three petitions have been lodged before the Supreme Court in relation to the impeachment and trial of Vice President Sara Duterte. First is a petition to compel the Senate to immediately convene an impeachment court, saying this is a mandate of the Constitution. But the next two petitions, also citing the law, want the opposite. The second petition filed by lawyers from Mindanao and the third filed by the lawyers of the Vice President herself are asking for a review of the impeachment proceedings and a halt to further action. Let's get on point with Senate Minority Leader Aquilino Pimentel III, who joins us on the phone. Senator, finally, I get to speak to you again. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Pinky, for inviting me at magandang gabi po sa lahat.
Good evening, sir. So you wrote Senate President Chis Escudero a two-page letter basically saying, well, citing what is in the Constitution, Article 11, Section 3 of the Constitution. I'll just read it, sir. In case the verified complaint or resolution of impeachment is filed by at least one-third of all the members of the House of Representatives, the same shall constitute the articles of impeachment, and trial by the Senate shall, these were the two important words, are forthwith proceed. So basically, Senator, sinasabi niyo po, kailangan magkaroon ng agarang aksyon dito.
Correct, tama. Tama yun, kasi ang meaning naman forthwith sa isa normal na salitang English yan. Pag tignan natin sa, if you check the dictionary, its everyday or ordinary meaning is without delay. So without any time gap. And then if you look at the Filipino version of the 1987 Constitution, ang sinabi dun, isunod agad. Ang paglilitis sa Senado ay isunod agad. So nandoon yung word na agad eh. Andun yung may mga pakikita natin, we could see words which are mean speed or immediacy, di ba? Kahit sa English man o sa Tagalog.
Did you get a response from the Senate President regarding this letter, sir?
No, he never wrote me a reply, but I heard his press conference yesterday. So he basically answered my letter in that press con by saying that he's sticking to his original position that he can wait, the Senate can wait for June 2 to convene, and then the trial can even wait to end of July 2025. So we are back to our basic disagreement that, in my opinion, since the articles of impeachment were filed on February 5, if I'm not mistaken, evening of February 5, waiting for until June 2 to formally act on it is not acting on it immediately or without delay. Mm-hmm. That is much delay, 4 months, almost 4 months of delay. And then if trial is scheduled or projected to start last week of July 2025, that is, ilan na yan? That is, I think, a 6-month delay na. Hindi na po forthwith yan.
5 months.
5 months? Sige, 5-month delay.
But I guess the question really is, Senator, is that nasa kamay ho ba ni Senate President ito? Yung decision dito?
Nasa kamay ng Senado. But since we are a collegial body, ibig sabihin grupo kasi kami, so dapat balik kami sa basic rule sa paano ba nagde-decide ang isang grupo. So majority vote. So sa ngayon, wala naman akong alam na nag-meeting ang grupo na Senado. So kaya ngayon ang suggestion ko, mag-focus na kami, magkita-kita na kami, mag-grupo na kami, para makita na rin doon, kahit mag-informal voting lang kami, para makita ni SP Chis kung yung kanyang position ba ay may backing ng majority, or yung makita ko naman na kung yung position ko ba ay may backing o wala ng majority, para alam natin. And then we can report to the people na ito na yung decision nung body.
But Senator, do you
yes.
think it's unfair that the Senate President made this decision without consultation?
It's better that he now consults with the body. Kasi naglabasan na yung mga positions eh. I must admit, noong February 5, wala pa naman kami mga positions eh. Kasi nag-adjourn na kami by, I think, 7 p.m. And I think the articles were received by the Senate around 6 p.m. So wala pa kami mga positions noon. And then we had no chance to meet again as a body, as a group. So we should have that chance. The Senate President should gather all of us. Now that with the passage of around 2 to 3 weeks, definitely or for sure, since this is now the issue of the day, the burning issue of the day, the talk of the town, for sure that each senator will now have his or her own position. So I think it's time for the Senate President to gather the senators and to get the sentiment of each one and then determine which is the majority sentiment.
And do you think, let me repeat the question, Senator, do you think it was unfair that the Senate President made this decision, it seems or appears, on his own?
No, at that particular time, I think he was justified to do it. Because I'm sure he was also pressured by media interviews, by questions from the press. He answered that way. So that is his plan. And I think we have to now...
But he faced the media again about 2 days ago, sir. And that is about how many days? 2 weeks since February 5, since the Secretary of the Senate received the articles of impeachment from the Secretary General of the House.
Yeah, but to my knowledge, he has not yet called an all-senators caucus because...
Opo.
If he has called for an all-senators caucus, then I would have been informed, di ba?
Yes.
So
yes.
he has not called for that. I think that is what he should do.
And if he doesn't do that,
then there is no way of knowing whether his position is the majority's position.
Mm. But there's nothing that will compel him, sir, no, to call for a caucus.
No, but if we should really follow the mandate, the instruction in the Constitution, and the Constitution says, trial in the Senate shall forthwith proceed. Isunod agad ang paglilitis sa Senado. So kailangan sundin namin yun. Ngayon, ang sa kanya, kay SP, for the Senate President, waiting for June 2, is still acting on the impeachment complaint immediately. In my mind, that is not immediate action or any action without delay. So I think the better way. The better procedure to follow is for the SP, the Senate President, to call for an all-senators caucus.
Okay. Senator, do you think that if the Senate President does call for an all-senators caucus, that majority of the senators will be present, considering that there are 12 who are possibly campaigning?
There are seven campaigning.
7 re-electionists.
7 for re-election. Well, we just have to appeal to their sense of duty. Kasi we really need to come up with a position on this. What is now the interpretation of the Senate as a body on the mandate or the wording found in the Constitution? So dalawa kasi, di ba, there are 2 possible interpretations. My interpretation is we can call for a special session of the Senate only. And the Senate is the one calling for that special session of the Senate only, so we can convene as an impeachment court, come up with our trial calendar. The Senate President's position is that we have to wait for the legislative session, which is scheduled to resume on June 2, 2025. So I think we should resolve this as a body. Ngayon, but
Amongst yourselves.
and then the members should be willing to face the public to explain their position, individual position.
Okay, so that's one track that, well, definitely it's what you are proposing. But there's another one, in case this doesn't happen, of course. It's the petition before the Supreme Court on the mandamus, meaning there was a petition to basically already ask the Senate to convene into an impeachment tribunal. So yun po ay maaaring sagutin ng Korte Suprema, maaaring maging pabor, against, or possibly, sir, hindi ho ba pwede ring sabihin ng Supreme Court that they have no jurisdiction over that?
Political question.
Yeah.
Kaya nga, so, well, it is good that a case has been filed before the Supreme Court, because if, just in case, no, the Supreme Court comes up with a decision on the merits, on the substance of the issues, then everybody will be guided. Oh, but then baka mauna pa June 2 niyan dumating. So
Yeah.
pagdating ng June 2, then we are now in legislative session, then we can now really convene as an impeachment court. Then doon na kami magdedebate. We can now debate kung July pa ba ang actual trial o hindi. But
Opo.
siguro, pero by that time siguro moot na kasi because the impeached official will be given 10 days to file her answer, and then the prosecutors will be given 5 days to reply. So sa exchange of documents pa lang, of papers, tapos na po yung umabot na tayo ng June 30. Then
Tapos
it's
na yung
definitely
19th
now
Congress. Yeah.
Yeah, tapos na yung 19th Congress, June 30 na, 12 noon. It will definitely now be the next Senate which will hold the trial. Yung trial, when we say trial, is the let's say that's commonly understood by our people as the question and answer, the direct examination of the witness, the cross-examination of the witness. Definitely, even if we convene on June 2 and then start the process, definitely sa next Congress na po yun, next Senate na po yung trial.
All right, so let's see, sir, kung anong magiging tugon or response ni Senate President Cheese Escudero to your proposal for a caucus. In the meantime, sir, thank you so much for your time, Senate Minority Leader Coco Pimentel.
Salamat din po.
Thank you. We'll be taking a short break. When we return, we'll talk to a member of the House Prosecution Panel, Congressman Jill Bongalon. Stay tuned. This is On Point. Come back. You're watching On Point. Joining us now via Zoom, a member of the House Prosecution Panel, Congressman Jill Bongalon. Good evening, Congressman Bongalon. Welcome to On Point.
Good evening, Pinky. Thank you for having me tonight.
All right, so there are 3 petitions lodged before the Supreme Court. The first one is the mandamus, asking the Supreme Court to tell the Senate to convene itself into an impeachment court. And then there's two more. The first was filed by Mindanao lawyers, basically asking to halt this or to stop or to declare it unconstitutional, this impeachment complaint. And the second one, almost the same. Let's just look into the arguments of the first petition from the Mindanao lawyers. Basically, they were saying that the articles of impeachment suffers from several constitutional infirmities. For example, the mere signing of the 215 members of the House of Representatives of the complaint does not constitute proper verification. How do you respond to that, sir?
Well, I beg to disagree with their argument that it does not constitute the proper signing of the complaint. No, what is indicated in our rules is that the signature must be genuine. It means original, and it has to be verified by all the members who signed the complaint, and it has to be administered by a person who is authorized to administer oaths. So with that, we complied with our House rules, including with what the Constitution says, that the complaint must be verified.
There's another one. I mean, basically, sir, am I correct in understanding this, that humarap ho kayo, supposed to be, sa
Yes.
Secretary General ng House of Representatives, si Reginald Velasco, sumumpa ho kayo at nag-sign po kayo dito sa impeachment complaint. Is
Yes,
that the
tama po yun.
verification?
Yes, that is the verification process. Ano, after we signed the impeachment complaint of 6 copies, if I'm not mistaken, then all of us stood up, and then we raised our right hands, and then the verification as read by our Secretary General, and we, all of us, answered in the affirmative that we understood all the allegations that we made it in good faith, and that's the verification process.
A part of the complaint also said, the petition rather, said days after the transmittal of the articles of impeachment, the House of Representatives attempted to cure the lack of verification by inserting a verification page in the impeachment complaint. Is this true, sir?
That is not true, Pinky. Ano. The complaint that was transmitted in the Senate of February 5, 2025, that consists of all the necessary pages to complete the said impeachment complaint. We did not submit just to cure any defect. Nakalagay na po yun dun eh. Kompleto po yun, including with all the annexes to serve as our evidence in that particular complaint. So, wala ho po kaming kinure. Yun na po yun. Kung ano yung natanggap po ng ating Senado, yun na po yun.
Wala kayong in-insert na verification page, sir?
The verification page was already included.
It was there?
Yes, it was there.
How about this, sir? Due process was violated. Vice President Duterte was not given prior notice before the filing of the complaint.
Well, we have to distinguish, because there are several modes of initiating impeachment complaint. If it was a verified complaint filed by any member of the House of Representatives, and that has to be referred to the Committee on Justice, and that would be the time that the Vice President or the respondent in that impeachment complaint endorsed or filed by the member of the House of Representatives or by any private citizen endorsed by a member of the House of Representatives. Therefore, it has to be referred to the Committee on Justice for the purpose of determining whether the impeachment complaint is sufficient in form and in substance, and also to determine if there is indeed a substantial ground and for impeachment. So, in that manner, the Committee on Justice will issue a summons and ask the Vice President to respond to the impeachment complaint filed before the House of Representatives. Particularly, it was referred in the Committee on Justice. But there are other modes wherein if it is filed by at least one-third of the members of the House of Representatives, that complaint alone shall constitute already the articles of impeachment, and therefore it has to be transmitted to the Senate so that the Senate will convene themselves as a Senate impeachment court, and therefore trial by the Senate shall forthwith proceed.
Right. You actually already said what is stated in the Constitution, Article 11, Section 3 of the Constitution. I know what you're saying in terms of the different modes of filing this impeachment complaint. Yun nga pong pinag-usapan din namin ni Senator Coco Pimentel kanina, yung the trial shall forthwith proceed, ano po. And it did not, I was also looking for something there that would say that a notice should be given to the respondent in case of the, I'm using this word, the fast track mode, yung pong one-third. So wala po nakasulat sa Constitution regarding that. I tried to look for it, I couldn't find it.
Yes, the Constitution is silent as to giving notice or opportunity for the respondent, or in this case, the Vice President as the respondent in the impeachment complaint. Hindi naman po nakalagay doon na kailangan niya pa pong sagutin, no? Kung yan po ay pirmado na ng at least more than one-third of the members of the House of Representatives. Kasi malinaw, yung complaint na yon, which is signed by at least one-third, shall constitute already of the articles of impeachment, and therefore, mag-uumpisa na po yung trial ng Senado.
Transmitted to the Senate, and the trial shall forthwith proceed. Yes. Congressman, this is something that I'm sure I've asked you in the past. they say that the delay or inaction of the Secretary General on the earlier 3 impeachment complaints was meant to circumvent the 1-year bar rule on impeachments. That could that be a point, sir? Because it did stay. The 3 impeachment complaints did stay with the Secretary General for quite some time. I'd say about 2 months. I think the first impeachment complaint was December 2 or December 4.
Yes. Yes, the first impeachment complaint was filed back in December of 2024. But we have to distinguish, there's a difference between filing of an impeachment complaint and if an impeachment complaint or proceeding is already initiated. The filing is, of course, the act of having the copies received by the Office of the Secretary General, but there's a meaning, as laid down in the jurisprudence, Francisco versus House of Representatives, and of course, the other one is, of course, the Gutierrez versus the House of Representatives. Doon po kasi sa sinasabi sa ating Constitution, sinasabi po, Section 5 of Article 11, that no impeachment proceedings shall be initiated against the same official more than once within a period of 1 year. And yung sinasabi pong initiated doon refers to the complaint filed by a member of the House of Representatives or by any citizen upon a resolution or endorsement of any member of the House of Representatives. Yun po ay deemed initiated kapag ni-refer po ng House of Representatives sa Committee on Justice for the purpose of determining whether or not the complaint filed is sufficient in form or substance. So kung yun po ay natapos, nagawa, then yung impeachment complaint ay deemed initiated already. And therefore, we will count 1 year, bawal na po mag-file ng anuman na impeachment complaint laban sa nasabi pong impeachable officer. So that is what by Section 5 of Article 11 talks about.
Right. So basically, what you're saying right now, your argument is that nag-umpisa po itong 1-year bar on Feb 5 because that was the time this was, as you say, initiated dahil 1/3 po nag-sign at dinala yung articles of impeachment sa Senado.
Yes, that is the correct interpretation, Pinky. And considering that it was signed by at least 1/3 members of the House, and then therefore that already constitutes as the article of impeachment, which was already transmitted to the Senate last February 5 of 2025. So therefore, from February 5, 2025 to February 5 of 2026, bawal po mag-file ng impeachment complaint laban po sa nasabing impeachable officer.
So let me lead you to the second petition, rather the third petition, but the second on the side of the Vice President, because here is where they say the 4th impeachment complaint is prohibited by the 1-year bar as respondent House of Representatives already took initial action by deliberately freezing the first 3 impeachment complaints. Respondent Senate should be enjoined from acting on the 4th impeachment complaint. In other words, this was something that we have discussed with some of the congressmen, some members of the House. Bakit ho kasi nanatili kay Secretary General yung 3 impeachment complaint, whether it was December 2, December 4, December 19, yung 3, and then the fast-track mode that happened February 5. This is the argument now being used in the second petition to stop the impeachment complaint against the Vice President.
Well, we have to remember that during the series of the Quadcom hearings and of the hearings of the Committee on Good Government, there were groups, other groups or civic organizations already expressed that they will file impeachment complaints against the Vice President. And true enough, last December, 1 impeachment complaint, the first ever impeachment complaint was filed against the Vice President. And there are talks that there are several groups who are also preparing other impeachment complaints to be filed against the Vice President. But when we scrutinized, when we studied all the impeachment complaints filed, the first, second, and third complaints, the first one consists of 23 articles. It's very too long. So mahirap i-defend yan sa Senado, dahil 23 articles ang kailangan mong patunayan. The second and the third one, it's too short. So it's practical for us to come up with a solid grounds wherein for us there are sufficient evidence so that in the 7 articles of impeachment as contained in the 4th impeachment complaints, we are confident that we can defend and prove to the Senate, sitting as the impeachment trial court, those articles that were lodged against the Vice President.
But why would that be important, Congressman? For example, the first impeachment complaint that was filed early December, where there were 23 articles of impeachment that you were discussing earlier. When in fact, when it comes to trial, you only need 1 article of impeachment to convict the Vice President. So whether it's 4, 10, or 23, kailangan lang ho naman talaga isa lang, hindi ho ba?
Yes, tama ka, Pinky. Pero kung titignan ho kasi natin, we have to remember that the first complaint was filed by a private citizen. It was endorsed by a member of the House of Representatives. And under the Constitution, kung yan po ay aaksyonan ng ating Kongreso, ayan po ay i-refer pa sa ating pong Committee on Justice. So doon po sa Committee on Justice na yun, doon po magtatagal, dahil magkakaroon po ng deliberation, discussion. Of course, the Vice President as the respondent in the impeachment complaint will also be given the opportunity to respond in the impeachment complaint filed by that private citizen. So with that, it's not, for me, it's not practical to undergo with that procedure wherein if we have solid grounds that we can already transmit it to the Senate so that we can already prove that these grounds were committed and therefore we can secure a conviction against the Vice President.
So very clearly, Congressman Bongalon, you did not want this to reach the order of business and then referred to the Committee on Justice for verification. Ayaw nyo na, personally, ayaw na nyo dumaan pa doon. Gusto nyo yung fast-track strategy.
Well, when we received the first impeachment complaint, and as mentioned earlier, it consists of 23 articles. So medyo matatagalan ho tayo if we are going to refer it to the Committee on Justice and then magkakaroon pa po ng mga series of committee deliberations. So for me, it's not practical anymore and we will just be wasting our time because practically, if that will succeed, we will undergo this same procedure if that complaint was given due course and was used to be the basis of a impeachment complaint and to be transmitted to the Senate. Imagine, 23 articles. Medyo mahaba po yun. As you have mentioned, isang article lang na kaya natin mapatunayan and that is already sufficient to convict the Vice President.
What is your reaction now? I had an interview earlier with Senate Minority Leader Coco Pimentel and he was asking the Senate President, well, he wrote the Senate President, Chis Escudero, to look, he underscored what was written in the Constitution, Article 11, Section 3, that the trial should forthwith proceed agad-agad daw ho dapat. And then also, after that, he said that it's important for the Senate to also have a caucus para po makita kung ano ang stand ng majority ng mga senador dahil nga it is the Senate that has the sole authority to try this impeachment proceeding. Ano po? What are your thoughts on that? At least with the Senate Minority Leader trying to push, I guess, the Senate President to already convene the impeachment court.
Well, the Senate Minority Leader and of course the Senate President, they have valid points on the issue of whether or not they will convene and to have a caucus and to decide with the impeachment complaints filed with the Senate right now. But once and for all, para matapos na, I guess for me, they really have to convene, to have a caucus, and of course, Senate being a collegial body, then tanungin natin yung pasya or desisyon ng ating pong mga miyembro ng ating mga Senado kung ano talaga ang kanilang posisyon patungkol ho dito. Kasi nagkakaroon na ngayon ng clamor, even legal luminaries, of course, cases already filed with the Supreme Court. So, para mayroon na din pong stand ng ating pong Senado patungkol sa kanilang desisyon kung ito po ay sila ay magko-convene bilang isang Senate impeachment court at umpisahan po ang magiging trial dito po sa impeachment case laban po sa ating Vice Presidente.
Idadagdag ko na po yung sinabi ninyong salitang clamor dahil nung narinig po yan ni Senate President Chis Escudero ay hindi daw po clamor yon para sa kanya dahil dalawa pa lang ang kanyang natatanggap na 2 o 3 at that time ang natatanggap na sulat para nga for the Senate to convene to an impeachment tribunal. Just the same, sir, Congressman Jill Bongalon, maraming salamat po sa inyong oras.
Maraming salamat at magandang gabi, Pinky. Salamat.
That's On Point. Join us again tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. here on BNC, the Billionario News Channel. I'm Pinky Webb. Thank you for watching.